Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and thank you for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this little here video. My name is LaPorcha and I am a fellow bookworm. Now, a little backstory. My bookwormish days started a long time ago. I actually remember my mom teaching me how to read The Cat in the Hat. Like, I have vivid memories of that. But in middle school, I started reading Babysitter's Club, Fear Street, and Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. And that's pretty much what kicked off my love for reading. But what really took it up a notch was when I started high school. I have always been a loner, a quiet person, somebody who enjoys, solitude, being by myself and away from all the noise and drama. So in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends. And when you go to lunch, that's like social hour. And I didn't have any friends. So what I would do is I would ask my teacher for a library pass. And I would go to the library during lunch period. So I did that so much that my teacher actually wrote me a pass and laminated it and gave it to me. So I didn't have to ask day after day after day after day for a library pass because I was not going into the lunchroom. Spending all my time in the library, looking at all these different books, like that is really what jump started my love for reading. And I was one of those people, like I was reading when it wasn't cool to read. And I would be in class trying to read my books on the slick, like under the desk, or I had a marketing class and we would have to read the newspaper every day when we got into class. But instead of reading the newspaper, I would put my book in front of my newspaper and just be reading my book. Like I was reading, but I was hiding the fact that I was reading because it wasn't cool. Anyway, that never stopped. Like my love for reading actually grew even more, and my mom got me my first library card. That took it up another notch. I've always loved the fact that you can get lost in a book, that you can take a step outside of reality and immerse yourself into somebody else's life. And I love books that actually do that, like that put you in that place. You don't feel like you're at home in your bed, on the couch, wherever you are reading, like you don't feel like you're there. You feel like you're actually in the story. I love those type of books. So what motivated me to start this channel? I've had the thought for so long. Like I watched so many booktube channels and booktube videos and 24-hour readathons and book shopping vlogs and all that stuff. Like I've watched them and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's me. Like I can do that. So what actually motivated me to just go ahead and do it was my niece asked me for some advice on growing on social media and editing and this and that and the third. Because if you don't already know, which you probably won't because I don't have the channels linked, I already have a YouTube channel, but that channel is based on like beauty. Like I started it in 2014, and it's it started out being based around beauty, then it turned into lifestyle, and I talk about my faith and all those different type things. So I get questions a lot from family and friends, about how to start it, how to do it, blah 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 blah. But anyway, she asked me for some advice and I told her the first thing to do is to find something that you like and that you would love to talk about and go from there. And it dawned on me the other day. I was like, why don't I take my own advice? Why don't I just take my own advice and do it? Because I've thought about it for so long. It was just an idea that I could do it. And I was like, you know what? Let me take my own advice and start my own booktube channel, like just for fun, like the purposes of having fun with it. Because like I said, I love to read and I've read some really good books and I always need somebody to talk to about them, and I'm not a part of a book club, so I don't get to have that banter back and forth. I don't really get or have a place to share my thoughts and what I felt about a book. So I feel like this would be the perfect place. Y'all can put me onto some books, I can put you onto some books, we can have some discussions about some books, like all that type of stuff. Like I feel like it would be so fun. So that's what motivated me to start this. And I read a book, I started this book at the end of October and finished it the other day, and it was so good, like so good. And I had nobody to talk to about it because I don't know anybody else that's read it. Here it is, matter of fact. It is The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. I hope that's how you pronounce her name. But this is the book that made me be like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it because I need to talk about this book. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but it will be in an upcoming video. So this is the book. Thank Miss Do for the motivation to actually start this channel after reading such a good book and feeling like I needed to share it with somebody. Even if nobody watched it, I would be able to get it out, you know? I also had the idea to start this channel because me and my brother had a conversation and he was telling me about this show that he was watching. He was saying how funny it was. And one of the jokes that he just found so funny was one of the guys saying, "You read books? You know, black people don't read." And he found that so funny, and I get it, but I don't get it because I'm like, y'all do realize we can read now. Like, it's not slavery days, Jim Crow, like none of that. We can read, like, and we can read for fun. To say black people don't read or black people shouldn't read is like, really? So that was another reason, because for instance, I get on booktube and all that, and I rarely find women that look like me. Like, I watch everybody. If your videos catch my attention, they catch my attention, I'm gonna watch it regardless. But I would still love to see more women or even men who look like me, who are reading, who enjoy reading, who love reading, who aren't ashamed of reading, who don't think it's taboo for black people to read, and to see, you know, their thoughts, what they think, and, you know, stuff like that. It's just always good to see representation, and I want to be one of those representations in the land of booktube. So here we are, y'all. Now, my favorite type of books to read lately, really for the most part, is thrillers and historical fiction. I love historical fiction. I read other genres too, but those are the two that I will always gravitate to. Now, I've always pretty much been a library girly. I recently started purchasing my own physical books, which some of them are back here. I have some more downstairs in my bedroom, but those are mainly like my faith-based books, you know, ones I need on hand, you know, at all times, because I'm not gonna always come up here to grab a book. I have a Kindle, which at first I wasn't really loving, but I have grown to love this thing. Okay, it comes in handy, and it's so small, so slim. I could travel with it and whatnot. And I don't have the paper white one because I didn't want to spend that kind of money, because I was just starting out in the Kindle world and I wanted to make sure I liked it before I spent that type of money, and that I was going to actually use it. You will be seeing me reading from physical books and this Kindle. I don't really like audiobooks. To me, they are not reading. You're listening to a story that's not reading. You read with your eyes, not your ears. That's just my opinion, but I can understand why people feel like it's reading. I personally just don't think it's reading. But yeah, like I said, that's just my opinion. My phone is ringing. It's my husband, y'all. I need to wrap this little video up. I hope you stick around. I hope you hit the subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy what you see. Let's get to reading.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.